Hi, Anthony O'Ryan for the Joker3121 channel on YouTube. I'm what you call a truther. What we do as truthers is we investigate the government. We are reporters for conspiracy. We report on crimes that the government does. Crimes that you're not going to hear on Nightline or Larry King Live or any of the other Operation Mockingbird CIA operations. Now, a lot of us, because we're truthers, we are marked as terrorists. The government marks us as terrorists because we let the people know what the government has done to everybody. Violations of the Constitution. A lot of people will disagree with us and they say, oh, the Constitution is no big deal. But when you really look into it, you find out that the Constitution is what kept the same people saying that safe in their homes and safe from harm's way. Now that America has turned their back on God and Americans have turned their back on the Constitution, it's hard to have one without the other. They go side by side. God is into freedom. God believes in free will. God believes in choice. Because of that, and it's not choice like abortion. I don't know where to stand on that one. I'm against abortion, yet I believe a woman has a right, because if she's carrying something around inside of her own body, it makes it kind of intertwined, intertangled, and I personally believe abortion's a sin. It's murder. I didn't always feel that way, but I do now. They say there's a flash of light while the baby's being born, right at that moment that the sperm meets the egg. So, because of that, I am against it now. And we report crimes, and we are reporters, and some of us do research, some of us go out in the field too, and some of us just report on the research that we've done. And we have been targeted because of that. Now, I was a target of the government many years before that, and I didn't really know. I just thought people were mean, and I thought I had ghosts because things were moving around my apartment when I was gone. And then whenever I got a roommate, it would stop. And I thought that's kind of strange that when someone's living with me, nothing's moved around, but when I'm alone, things get moved around without me. That's just strange. And I finally realized that I'm a target. And targets, what we are, is the government somehow or another knows that we will be a problem because we have empathy, because we care. And because they know that, they start targeting us. Some of us are targeted for murder. And this part here is just my opinion on what I've researched and what I found out. I don't want to say the government's murdering people. You got to be very careful, because if I'm wrong, God will be upset, and you don't want to make God upset. You think you don't want to upset the devil, and a lot of people sell out to the devil. You don't want to make God upset, because whatever the devil can do to you, God can do a billion times worse. But He loves you. He won't do that. So there's no reason not to love God. God is beautiful, and He loves you He loves you with no conditions. The conditions are, if you want to go on forever and go to paradise, then you got to be safe. If you're dangerous there, then you can't be there. That's the condition. Okay? Anyways, we are truthers. We report crimes the government does. And because of it, we're marked as terrorists. And some of us go to jail for crimes we didn't commit. I'm just going to say this. I'm also a prophet. I've only prophesied my own things up until now because they were coming to kill me. And God, helped me. He guided me. And I warned them. I said, if you leave me alone now, God will never harm you for what you've done to me. And I can't come after you in the future, because God said, if you can't forgive them, why should I forgive you? So I said, you're right. I forgive you. And He didn't say, it's not a voice. It's like a feeling in your stomach. Something suddenly, and you get this feeling in your stomach. They say go with the gut. The gut's always right, especially if it's heartburn. Don't eat those tacos with that salsa no more. Give it a break. Point I'm making is that what they do is they hurt truthers. Now, I became a prophet. I've always had dreams here and there that would come true, but I believe that God, they were all from God, but I believe that God really entered my life in a tremendous way about 4 years ago. I mean, an obvious way where there's no doubt, where I saw miracle after miracle. I saw up to 40 miracles so far. I saw over 40. I just haven't kept track of them all. And I performed 8 miracles myself through the power of God. Jesus Christ is real. He's physically real. He was a physical man. He did come here to the earth. He manifested as a flesh, God Himself. And that's why I got the miracles, because I know it and you don't. Or you know it too. But that doesn't mean that I'm any better than anybody. Whether you saw miracles or you didn't, or whether you're a Christian or you're not. God loves everybody very much. And no one's better than no one else. It just means that you're having faith. When you have faith in God, you are blessed more. Let me tell you. We are conspiracy theorists. So what the government does, they set us up on crimes, or they murder us, or they disappear us. Now, I'm going to give another warning. I've done this before in the past. If you ever think I'm too low or too down, I'm gonna tell you something. I'm never, ever, ever, ever gonna leave Christ, no matter what, no matter how it looks or no matter how weak I look. So if you come after me, you're taking a gamble on lots of problems, supernatural problems too. And I'm not talking about the average person. I'm talking about the shadow government that runs the world, that are in cahoots with other governments of the world in a secret way to harm the people. If you harm the people, you're going to be in trouble. If you harm Christians, you're going to be in bigger trouble. If you harm me, you're going to be in big trouble. I am a Christian. I love God with all my heart, and God is the creator of everything, even you. And even if you're a demon, you're like, no, I'm actually a spirit of fallen angels and people mingling together. Well, guess what? God made people and God made angels. They fell away, yes, but God made them. So if you came from them, God made you too. The point I'm making is that God doesn't want anyone to perish. God doesn't wish harm on anyone. God loves everybody, and creatures that never wanted to be here, that were unnatural, never asked to be here. It's not God's fault. Okay, so don't blame God for anything. You blame the people or the fallen angels that made you. Don't blame anyone else but them. And if you blame God, that's your prerogative, but you're just wrong, like always. So it's not your fault, and you can hate me for saying that, but definitely don't blame God. And I'll just say this again: if the shadow government ever harms me, my friends, or my family, I've done some special praying for you, and you're going to have the worst pain right away that you could imagine. So lay off it. And yes, I know I'm balding, but this is also has always been a big forehead, and that's why I wear a bandana, because I have little eyes. And you can call me Elvis all you want to mock me, but I'm not Elvis. Elvis was a beautiful looking man. I'm only good looking. Elvis was beautiful. He had big eyes. I got little beady eyes. See, people like me, but they can't trust me because my eyes are just too close together. I'm just joking. Have a nice day. God bless you all. And go with Christ. And we obey the government when they're not sacrificing small children to the devil. And that's all there is to it. If you're sacrificing small kids to the devil, or you're molesting them, you're physically touching them with your physical hands, and whatever you think in your mind or heart is your business. That's your business. Whatever you fantasize in your heart and mind, that's your business. But when you grab a real kid and you hurt a little kid, and especially if it's against their will, if they're not like 15 or 14, and then it's really pushing it. If they're not 16, person's 18 and 16, that's a little different. But I'm talking about if you go out of your way to harm a child and you have intent, then you are not anything that I consider worth me ever liking. So God bless you all, and evil shadow government beware, because there's a